Hey everyone, I'm Charting Man Dan of The Chart Guys. I've been trading crypto for the last 6.5 years and stocks for the last 13. In this video, we're going to utilize technical analysis to help us check in on Bitcoin and altcoins. We're going to look back at some major concepts regarding rotation and ways to help us determine that the market is still healthy. We're going to talk about concepts like euphoria and FOMO and things like that. And we're going to check in on a couple of our resources that we have as far as educational videos to help us understand the concepts that we're going to talk about more in depth. Let's get to it. First off, big time shout out to Big Cheds on Twitter. I know most of you are already following him at this point, but Cheds and I have been interacting for years at this point in the cryptocurrency space. We have very similar styles of technical analysis. He always gives me these shout outs, and I would say he's probably responsible for 8,000 of my Twitter followers. And I know there's a new wave thanks to his kind tweet last night. And so going to be talking to a bunch of new followers as well, and just letting you know about my style, very similar to his, but big time shout out to Big Cheds. So first off, Bitcoin. So Bitcoin bulls are just fine right now. We have a new short-term support level looking down at 42.8 thousand. And of course the resistance right now, it's a little bit different depending on what chart you look at, because Coinbase had this wick up to 45,000 initially that many other exchanges don't have. And so Bitcoin is a tightening range right now, whereas other exchanges like Binance hit a higher high with just no follow through. But I like the view of the Coinbase one, and that's where I trade. So that's the one I'm going to be keeping an eye on. And it makes more sense to me. I mean, bull break with no follow through or lower high and tightening range. This is definitely the tightening range that altcoin bulls wanted to see. We'll talk about that in just a moment. So as I mentioned recently, I have been taking some profit in Bitcoin. I sold some at 42. I sold some at 44. Again, I'm a trader. My job is to lock in gains while letting my long-term no-touch crypto position do its thing long-term, decade plus. But the other positions are for locking in profit. So at this point, my average profit taking is 43,000. And now I'm just patiently waiting. And I would have re-entered some of what I sold if I were awake when we hit hourly oversold conditions. Again, hourly back burner after a breakout, hitting hourly oversold for the first time, and that leading to the lowest price we've seen now for a while. So that's one of the major characteristics of a bull market. Obviously, I'm not trying to convince you we're in a bull market. It's very clear at this point. But one of the characteristics from a couple months ago is the back burners were working as far as shorter term oversold conditions marking longer term higher lows. So the hourly oversold marks the 12-hour higher low, and now we're in a tightening 12-hour range. If you don't know what the back burner strategy is, Google Chart Guys back burner, watch that video. It's more in depth. This easily is the most profitable strategy for me in my trading. I like playing oversold bounces. I like momentum in bull markets to play those oversold bounces, and it has served me very well in crypto over the last 3 bull cycles. So let's talk about Bitcoin. What's my game plan? So I've got a third position remaining, and that's my runner position, is in the sense that, you know, I'm only exiting that position if bears show me something. I'll exit the other positions into euphoria and into significant short-term gains over extended time frames, but I won't exit everything. And that's a concept that, again, I got another video about, and it's in line here with this question from one of the Chart Guys members. So what are my thoughts about this euphoria? And do I think it will, it's too large. Do I think it will continue without a bigger pullback than the 4-hour one that we've seen? They've exited some long. So let's talk about, again, that concept of scaling. So you don't want to be exiting all of your positions if there is no reason to. And what I mean by that is bears aren't proving anything whatsoever on the 12-hour or daily time frame. So again, I'll sell some into euphoria. I woke up this morning, I scrolled on Twitter, I saw more posts showing dollar gains and percentage gains that I've seen in weeks. And that's a data point for me. And so, you know, technical analysis, plenty of data points there, but there's certainly social media and sentiment data points as well. And so, you know, am I going to see that and rush to sell all my positions? No, but I'm going to see that and say, okay, this is an observation. This, I know, triggers a little cautionary red flag in my brain. When people start sharing their gains excessively and are partying, that means be a little bit more cautious. So just making note of that. But again, the concept of scaling out, and here's another video to be watching, If you Google chart guys scale, watch this little quick 4-minute video because it's a nice concept of how I go about day trading and swing trading. And so shout out to Chart Guys member Ralphio who came up with these analogies, but he breaks his positions up into 3. And his first one he calls the Guardian, and his job is to protect him. So, say he's entering an hourly oversold backburner bounce. That's a third of the position that he's going to sell into the initial bounce in case that bounce drops to lower lows. And he's now protected. He takes partial profit, can stick his stop under the low. He's risk-free or has a tiny loss, a tiny risk at that point. The second position is the Harvester. So that's the one where, if I'm looking for hourly oversold for a daily higher low and then a breakout for continuation, then the breakout move, I'm taking more profit to harvest at, my target levels. And the third is Mr. Clear, because the bears need to give a clear reason to close it. And that's your runner position. So again, if you look at the chart and say, what have bears proven to me? The answer is not much, because we have a higher low at 42.8, and there are no red flags on this chart whatsoever. So we never want to fully be out of positions that are going with the trend when the trend is still chugging along just fine. So let's say you have exited some position or all your positions. At this point, you're playing off of 42.8 support. Because again, if that holds, we're going higher. We'll go up to 48,000, 46,000, I guess will be the next little target. But it's a simple statement, right? It sounds silly almost. If 42.8 holds, we're going higher. But it's always nice to break down these nice and simple statements when we're doing our analysis, because we want to make things as simple as possible. If that level breaks, the probabilities for me that weekly consolidation will be shaping up will increase significantly. And again, a lot of these charts, Bitcoin included, are 2 months now of stair step. 2 months meaning a higher low every single week. There's another one, Google Chart Guys stair step, if you want to know what that trading strategy is. But anyways, there's a higher low every single week. And so we know that we're going to see weekly consolidation eventually, and we also know there's no sign of it right now. If we lose that level, it's the first sign that weekly consolidation may be shaping up. So, if you want an anti-FOMO position, trying to enter near a recent support, stick a stop under that low, and then, maybe you get back some of your prior profit to have an anti-FOMO position. For me, my long-term no touch is my anti-FOMO. So as I mentioned, I've sold 2 positions now at an average of 43. If we go up to 47, then yeah, I will have sold some too soon. I could have had more profit, but I will still have some long swing position, and I will still have my long-term no touch, and I'll be A-okay. And I know eventually, for me, what I need from here to be comfortable with swing trade entries is weekly consolidation. And I'm not saying that for every single name, because we had some really nice, tightening daily ranges that we'll look at on ADA, which was one of our top watches over the past couple of weeks because of its clear tightening ranges, clear support levels nearby. Whenever you have a support level nearby, your risk is low because your stop goes under that level. And so that's what dictates whether it's a worthwhile trade or not. If your risk is really low, you don't need much upside to make the reward worthwhile. If your stop is far away, if the risk is high, you need a lot of follow through to make the trade worthwhile. So weekly consolidation in Bitcoin, a lot of people are going to be looking for a weekly higher low. And the broader market just did this on a longer term time frame. Let's just quickly check in on the broader market. And, we had QQQ on the monthly time frame going up all summer, just straight up, stair-step pattern. And then we started pulling back. And because it's on a longer term time frame, that's 3 months of consolidation. That's a long time. And everybody's talking about the bears are back and back in control. Meanwhile, my mindset is we went straight up. This is healthy consolidation. We knew this consolidation would be inevitable, and bulls that had money on the sidelines are going to be looking to enter on this consolidation. And so my mindset is the same for Bitcoin. When we see Bitcoin weekly consolidation, everybody's going to be talking about tops being in for now, and maybe they are. But if the weekly consolidation remains healthy and it bull flags, then again, that's going to be a lot of money that's on the sideline and not wanting to chase getting in on the next consolidation. So we'll certainly be keeping an eye out for weekly consolidation and weekly higher lows, but again, not just yet because there's no sign of it at this point. Just one more note on the broader market. The NASDAQ is a monthly cup and handle, as so is the S&P 500, just under all-time highs. And so again, if you're a crypto bull, you want this euphoria to continue. Crypto bulls, we bottomed in crypto a few weeks before stocks, and then stocks went straight up the last month. And so, we just want confidence. We want bull confidence in as many markets as possible. And so if the NASDAQ confirms this monthly cup and handle to all-time highs, then the crypto party can absolutely keep going. So keep an eye on this, because both SPY and the NASDAQ are testing all-time highs right now. And we know all-time highs is when bulls start throwing money at anything in terms of having that kind of confidence. So that would be a good thing for crypto. So let's now talk about dominance. And again, just real quick summary, anticipation for Bitcoin, tighten up over the weekend as we normally do. I mean, the pattern on this move has been tighten over the weekend, altcoins get their run, then Bitcoin takes a leg up, dominance heads up, and then tops out temporarily, finds a sideways range, altcoins get their run. This has happened time and time and time again over the last 2 months, just weekends sideways. And the first one, when it happened back here, this is when it stood out. Okay, we've got, actually no, it was probably, that's when the rotation first, no, I'm sorry, one more weekend. This sideways range, altcoins started to show us the significant rotation and had us start to say, these are characteristics of a bull market. And so let's just talk about this concept. The rotation that we see, how does this pattern keep playing out? So again, Bitcoin, lead move up, big move up, dominance goes up, big move up, dominance goes up. And then we see it find a range. We pull back a bit, we set a daily high or low, and then we're sideways for a week. And what happens, what bulls want to see is during that week, having the dominance drop. Because if that's happening, it tells us the altcoins are playing catch up. And so the same thing is happening right now, where Bitcoin is sideways over the weekend, and we're seeing the dominance chart drop drastically, a big 3-day drop. And so, is this, one thing that I've been practicing more and observing more this year is flags that confirm with zero follow through, and looking for those to be reversal signs. It's a reversal pattern to get more familiar with. And so this is a weekly bull flag confirming with zero follow through, which means watching for a top in the dominance chart. Now I need to see a couple things transpire. I need a daily downtrend to confirm. Whenever we bounce here, I need a clear lower high and lower low. But again, it's a very significant turnaround, just like last time, except a bit more significant. Last time was slow consolidation. This is much more significant. So watching for, let's pull that from a couple days ago. Again, just laying out, if this is going to be ideal for bulls, this is what we want to see. And then we get exactly what the scenario was. So this was from, I need to see exactly when this was for a date. One moment. This was December 5th. So when was December 5th? 4 days ago. So we are talking Tuesday. So Tuesday, reminder, the best case for the bulls is when Bitcoin tops out, we will likely see alts take a hit as Bitcoin pulls back, whether it's daily or 12-hour consolidation, the alts will drop with it, looking for that longer term high or low. Then the alt bulls want to look for entries, ideally as Bitcoin is setting up a 12-hour high or low, hoping for a Bitcoin sideways 12-hour range and dominance dropping for alts to play some catch up. So we get Bitcoin 12-hour consolidation. When it hits hourly oversold, it marks the 12-hour high or low. And the entries for the altcoins are when Bitcoin is shaping up that 12-hour high or low. Because again, some altcoins, every altcoin has a different setup, but we don't want to be entering the altcoins long here because, again, they're going to pull back with correlation to Bitcoin. We want to be entering them when Bitcoin has consolidated and is finding that base. And again, just exactly, this is laid out to a T, exactly what the bulls want to be seeing. Sideways 12-hour, dominance dropping hard, altcoins getting their move. So keep an eye on this rotation because as long as it keeps going, big check mark of confidence for the bulls in the market. When it starts to shift, it will stand out to us. Things are different. What we want to do with technical analysis is find something in the market, a trend, a pattern that's been going on for months or however long a period of time, and then make observations when it's lost. Again, just a simple example, just because I'm a stock trader, I got all these, stock examples in my brain. Netflix, monster move up for a month, 4-hour EMA 12. Holding, 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 holding. If this is holding for a month of trading, I could say when we lose 4-hour EMA 12 support, that will be telling me things are shifting. I can say the character of this uptrend is different than it's been for the entire last month of trading. And then you get Netflix losing it and following through for the bears. It's just a clear shift. You hold it forever, and then you lose it, and it acts as resistance. And so if you're a bull, you know to take some profit when that's lost. And if you're a bear, you say, wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. Okay, things are now different. So again, part of technical analysis is identifying patterns that we then observe as long as they maintain. And then once that pattern shifts for the first time in a long time, it's a signal. TLT, the first time I've ever gone long this instrument, it was just waiting for the first daily uptrend. Down here, we confirmed the first daily uptrend in 3.5 months. And that was my signal to go long. So sat, missed all this, didn't make any long attempts. The first sign, this is something different than the last 3.5 months of trading, and it's resulted in a very significant reversal. So use that mindset. Find things where you can identify that they've been happening for a long time, and then they clearly stand out to you when they shift. This is a long video, but it's a goodie. All right, ETH. So ETH, daily stair-step pattern, higher low every single day. It was a couple dollars in here, but I'm essentially viewing it as a higher low every single day for the last 12 days. We know daily consolidations do. You can see the little upper wicks here showing us bull breaks without much follow through. So bulls are tiring. I can't really draw a clear rising wedge here, but the concept of the rising wedge is when you break resistance and go straight into consolidation, it shows you bulls are tiring a bit. So we have a very clear short-term support level. Simple statement. ETH bulls have complete control of 2338 is support. If we lose it, things are shifting, and we'll zoom out and look for daily consolidation. So that's our guide. That's the level that we're watching right now. And I don't have to do any more analysis than that as far as the short term. Hold it. We're going higher. 2400 is a psychological barrier. Lose it. Daily consolidation underway. Look for first hourly oversold conditions and see if the bulls buy that back burner. Still got some Ethereum long. Again, took some profit, but still leaving runner positions. ETH BTC. Really nice bounce off of its triple bottom. Again, as I keep talking about this long-term pattern, this 3-month equilibrium has been playing out for years. And the bulls really, 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 really want to hold this long-term higher low. You can see we're just above it. They really want to hold that level and tighten up here, for another year, potentially. But there's tons of proving to be done. The bulls' backs are against the wall to try and maintain this long, tightening range. And we're holding this triple bottom on the daily right now. So the lowest level we've seen, aside from years ago, was hit, then it held, then it held. So clearly this level is worth paying attention to. We also can draw, I know Big Cheds doesn't like his downtrend and uptrend resistance lines, but I like them as just visual guides. I don't make trades off of trend lines much at all, but this is a clear visual guide. And again, simple statement, nothing is changing on this chart if this downtrend line is resistance. If this breaks, something stands out to us as shifting. We also have not confirmed a daily uptrend on ETH BTC in over a month. So keeping an eye on this, and we can make a simple statement. The only chance that we're going to set that longer term higher low on this pairing is if this chart breaks bull and we see some follow through for potentially, a month. We need a lot of follow through. And there's just, nice big green day, but the pattern has been one nice big green day, then just fades. So is this one nice big green day just going to fade? We have to see more than just one day. We need trends and follow through. Another thing about Big Cheds, you'll hear him talk about LTC being a dash to trash. LTC BTC is at all-time lows. Again, just daily downtrend forever. It's something to keep an eye on. There's so much euphoria in the markets right now. People are looking around and saying, who hasn't run yet? Who's a laggard? Litecoin has not run yet. It's going up because Bitcoin's going up, but slower and weaker, much weaker. And so in many cycles, you'll see Litecoin be one of the last coins to pump, and then that marks a temporary top. So keeping an eye out for that to potentially take shape again, but also just watching, can LTC, BTC show us something on this chart is shifting in terms of any kind of move towards relative strength. Litecoin itself, the chart, again, it's a bullish chart. It's just not as strong as many other things. So it is a weekly uptrend, but we're nowhere near the summer high of 115. We're way under that level. So we can say two things. Number one, if you're looking for laggards, keep an eye on this one. And number two, if it does get its pump, that means caution the entire crypto space to potentially be nearing a short-term top. And again, when I'm saying top right now, I'm just talking about weekly consolidation where weekly higher lows will be the most likely scenario. So we always need to give context, because if I say top to one person, it means, whoa, we're going to start going down for the next few years. No, I'm just talking about the weekly. The daily and the weekly is all we care about right now. Staying zoomed in. So our top watches a couple of weeks ago, ADA, Link, and RNDR. Why? Because they had very beautiful equilibrium patterns of just clear tightening ranges of higher lows and lower highs. And if you are trading in markets, you know that equilibriums and tightening ranges like that are one of the most common patterns on all time frames, and they give us clear levels to play off of, and they tell us volatility is coming. You can only get so tight. And when you get tight to a certain point, you can say, we know a break is coming. We favor a bull break on this pattern because of the prevailing trend and because of sentiment. We know it can break both ways, but we know volume and volatility are coming. And so what do? You buy off support if you have conviction in continuation. You short off resistance if you have conviction that we're going to break down, and you play the break. If you don't have conviction, well, you can play the break, right? And look for, obviously that would have worked well in this case. But there are times where I won't have conviction. I can be 50-50 on the direction that an equilibrium can break, but I can still position low risk or risk free. If I buy near support and we get a bounce and I'm expecting a lower high and to continue tightening up, I sell partial, I stick my stop under the support. If the pattern breaks bull, I profit. If it breaks bear, I stop out break even. I love getting in risk-free positions. And so ADA, big time follow through. The bull volume has just been pouring on here. Again, the characteristic of an equilibrium is declining volume, and then you look for the volume spike on the break, and there's very significant follow through. So bulls couldn't be happier with how that played out. Just look at the weekly inside bars, just tight, tight, tight. What's an inside bar? Google TheChartGuys inside bars. We got a video for everything. Go on our YouTube channel. Again, we've got thousands of videos over the last 8 years. Just go through the YouTube playlists. There's a lot of useful content. Next resistance on ADA, we cleared 595. So we're looking up at 689 as the next level. And after 689, there is not a ton nearby. So keeping an eye on that level, but knowing that a temporary top is likely coming sooner rather than later. And looking at the 4 hour, indecision doji up at the top here, looking like 4 hour consolidation is about to take place. Again, stair-step pattern, higher low every single candle for 13 in a row. 4 hour consolidation underway. We look for 15-minute oversold conditions to give us an indication. I mean, here was another equilibrium. Just a nice clear setup even for a bear. You got to be real cautious bearish. Only traders that are doing this for a long time with confidence. Real cautious bearish in this environment, but there's your stop loss. You look at the 4 hour and say, okay, the 4 hour RSI is through the roof. I'm looking at volume being really high. We're looking for just healthy consolidation, and it gives you a level to play off of. And so now we're looking for 15-minute oversold. If ADA bulls are going to keep their complete control, 15-minute oversold conditions holding 4 hour EMA 12 will keep this chart strong. If I want to be an aggressive bull, I play 15-minute oversold. I sell partial into a bounce. I stick my stop under the low. I've got an entry with a 4 hour support level nearby. And if I stop out, that tells me bigger picture consolidation is coming and I don't lose much. And if we see breakout continuation, euphoria, FOMO, I've now got a position. So again, rather than chasing, that's what back burners are for. We put the trade on the back burner when something's running away from us so we don't chase, and we enter then in the consolidation. So 15-minute back burner on watch for ADA to look for a 4-hour higher low. Link. So Link, let's talk a bit about Link. So we were looking at, I saw these, anything that has these tightening daily ranges, we're just watching them all break massively one by one. And, another name doing it today is the lead bull Algo. Again, temporary top watch. It's a 4-hour volume climax candle. It's the highest 4-hour volume in a long time, and the candle's only 70% done. So then we zoom in. What are signs that a climax top is coming? We don't really have a clear sign yet, but this would be a kind of setup where, I would watch for a big enough 15-minute pullback here to then confirm a 15-minute downtrend to mark that 4-hour climax. But my point was, tightening daily range, just massive breakout. This is what ADA has done. Algo has done it. And also, who did it back here? It was it was OP. And so just saying, okay, the Link chart looks really similar to OP. OP got the bull break. Link bulls are really hoping that they join in and get their move as well. So then we had a setup for a Link entry off of this consolidation. Again, it was Bitcoin was pulling back. And so the Link entry is on hourly consolidation. And for me, I was just saying, someone was asking me, are you taking this trade right now? When the stock market is open, for me, it's always worthwhile to be paying more attention to the stock market. And that's just because I have much more capital in the market. I have fee-free trading in the US. And again, if I'm day trading crypto the way that I'm day trading my US fee-free stocks, I'm paying thousands and thousands of fees a day, and it's just not worthwhile to me. And so I'm trading the crypto stocks. I'm trading Riot and MARA, both long and short. They have great volatility. So my point was, I'm not making this entry right now because my attention is elsewhere, but this is the setup for an entry. So even if just because I'm not entering doesn't mean you shouldn't be entering, but it was just a nice downtrend resistance line and an inverse head and shoulders on the hourly. And so we were watching this downtrend line, and at that point in time, I had drawn this. We were right here and saying, all right, watch for the right shoulder to form. Bulls enter on hourly consolidation. The stop goes under 1467 because if that level breaks, I'm proven wrong. That tells me, no, this is not an inverse head and shoulders because the definition is we would have to hold that level. So I make an entry on the consolidation. Again, someone makes an entry. I didn't. Someone makes an entry on the consolidation, puts their stop under the low. The pattern confirms. We get the breakout. So you're taking some partial profit into this move so you can stick a break-even stop under 1467. And that way you can let it run, or you can just take profit in the move. It obviously depends on how you want to do this here, but being risk-free is the way to go in this market. And so we didn't get as much bull follow-through as the Link bulls want right now. We got a nice move. Again, enough of a move to position risk-free, which is all we can ask for. But Link BTC still is not performing as the bulls want. We need to convincingly set the weekly higher low off EMA 12 on Link BTC and head back to the recent high. So we had a nice move up. We need more. So we need this 12-hour uptrend to confirm and break these levels if Link is going to get a monster move like we've seen on a handful of these other names. DOT, massive breakout. Consolidation, sideways daily range, volume dropping off, very healthy. Bull volume pours in, continuation. All right, this video is much longer than anticipated, but threw in a lot of concepts in there. Again, you could use this video as a roadmap if you wanted to then say, I now have 15 hours of education from this video. I just gave you the paths. Go watch this video in this concept. Go watch this one. Go watch this one. And learn these concepts because they were born through observing and trading multiple crypto bull markets and then saying, okay, this is the way that I have been able to make money, and just trying to make it as clear as possible as far as the strategies and the styles of trading. So I appreciate your attention as always, and the likes and the shares and the love on social media and the support is definitely very motivating. Another shout out to Big Cheds, and thanks for watching, especially new followers. Do good things.